สวัสดีค่ะ
Hey, JC and Nat for Escape to Thailand. I just got through watching a video that I'm going to share with you all. It was a webinar. And this is regarding the CRS and FACTA letter that the bank, K-Bank especially, has been giving out to foreigners. And a lot of people have asked me, we were at our member get-together in YN, and somebody asked me about this letter, and I didn't know much about it, but I watched this webinar with Carl, and if you didn't see my interview with Carl from Expat Tax, you should check that out, and I'll put the link in the description. But he did a webinar about this CRS FACTA letter that you have to sign, these documents you have to sign and give to the bank. And here, I'll show you a couple minutes of that webinar, and then I'll tell you what's in the rest of it and give you the link so you can go watch the whole thing. But check this out.
So welcome to the CRS and FATCA webinar to explain how to complete the forms that have been received from Thai banks regarding CRS requirements. Just to explain to people why you're receiving this information and also what to do, how to complete the forms. The purpose of this webinar is really to give you the up-to-date information and help people complete these forms and understand what are the requirements. And at Expat Tax Thailand, we're here to help individuals understand their Thai tax filing obligations so they can make better informed decisions. So Expat Tax Thailand, we're a Thai registered, Thai majority owned company. We specialize in working with expats, helping them with their Thai personal income tax filing and ongoing advice and support. All of the advice is from our Thai accountants who are authorized and regulated through the Federation of Accounting Professionals. My role is purely to explain in simple terms to expats the rules and act as a go-between to explain the rules in English. So all the advice is given and all the accounting work is given by Thai authorized and qualified accountants. So who's going to benefit from this webinar? So anyone who's received the CRS forms from Thai banks and would like help completing, or anyone who would like to know more about CRS and tax reporting. So we will go through the step-by-step forms to actually go through how to complete these forms. I've gone through each part to explain exactly what you need to fill out and how, and what the requirements are. So today we'll go through why have the banks requested this information and why have they started to ask for this information. We'll explain what CRS actually is and what it means. And what if you don't complete these forms, and how to complete the forms, who needs a tax ID number and who doesn't, what is actually being reported from all these types of assets. So first of all, it's the name, address, tax IDs, account values, and then money ins and outs from the banks or pensions or financial institutions. This is being reported every year to the local tax authority. And then they distribute that to all of the relevant CRS countries where people are tax resident or have other assets. So actually on the form itself, you can actually see that the Revenue Department actually have stated on the K-Bank form, it actually states that you need to, you've given them authority to send the information direct to the tax authorities. So how will the Thai revenue know, or how will this all be shared? The tax information, well, the Thai Revenue Department, for example, as part of CRS, their software plugs into the other CRS revenue departments, and the information is shared directly and downloaded in an XLS file for all the other CRS countries. So that's for ATM, credit cards. If you're sending money to other people, then that's part of the transaction history. So all information is recorded. So it's nothing to worry about. And this has been happening for many years in other countries. Thailand signed up to this 2020, and now this is the first real implementation from the banks. So what if you don't complete the form? So I've had a lot of questions of this, so it'll probably be good to answer. If you don't respond or comply with the banks, then the bank's got the right to close your account and report the information to CRS that you've not complied. So this is standard practice, and with account restrictions and closing accounts, it's quite common if people don't comply. So K-Bank have sent out these forms because they are legally and contractually obliged by CRS and FATCA to send this to all their clients. So all of the banks and institutions will follow suit, but actually you see this as a positive from K-Bank, that you can see that they are diligent and they're on the ball, that they've sent out, and they're remaining compliant with their obligations.
So it's a great webinar. It's really informative. And so if you've heard about this letter, if no matter what bank you're banking with in Thailand, you're going to get this letter. And so you should really watch the video. I think it's really important. And I wrote down a couple points I wanted to mention about what's in there, because I think these are really important points. One is, will all banks be doing this? Then what are you signing and what are you agreeing to? That's important information. What information do you need to disclose to the bank? What to do if you have security concerns about emailing these forms and these things they're asking for, like, you know, copies of your bank book and a passport. If you don't want to send those back by email, how do you deal with that? So that was real important. What if you haven't received the forms to fill out from your bank? Is there a deadline for this? What happens if you don't comply at all and you just don't give them the forms back? And how to get a certified copy of your passport. On there it says, give us a copy, a certified true copy of your passport. What is that? And how do you get that? That's also included in this webinar. So that's really good to know, because somebody already asked me about that. And then step by step, how to fill out these forms, field by field. He goes through this. And do you need to fill out all the forms? There's like three forms, if I'm not mistaken. Do you need to fill them all out? And then some really important distinctions about what to fill in those fields that you might not be aware of, or maybe not sure of what to put in there. So all that's covered in the webinar. I'll put the link in the description of the webinar so you can watch it. But I think it's really informative. And if you're over in Thailand for more than 6 months, a year, in a calendar year, you're going to have to comply to a certain degree, or know that you don't have to comply to this remittance tax that they've implemented in Thailand. And yes, it has been implemented. A worldwide tax hasn't. But that's all covered in the interview that I did, which will also put the link for in the description. If you didn't see that, I highly suggest watching that. In fact, I'd watch that first and then watch this webinar. But anyway, I just thought I'd pass this on to you. I think it's really important to get everybody up to speed. And Carl's very informative, and regarding all these tax issues and these forms. He actually went and talked to the Capricorn Bank about this. So check out the webinar, and again, I'll put the link in the description. And if you have any other questions, I'd reach out to Carl and ask him. Anyway, that's it. JC and that out. More videos coming soon, and think about becoming a member at escapetothailand.com.
Yes.
See ya. Hey, JC here. If you like that video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel here. Also, we have another video up here you're going to be really interested in watching as well. And if you're looking for all the details of how to retire in Thailand in one place, plus a group of people to support you, check this out over here. Give it a click.